Greetings everyone, my name is Aida Honor. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that I get asked a lot of questions about concerning homeschooling, entrepreneurship, motherhood. And so the topic is 5 tips to balance motherhood, homeschooling, and entrepreneurship. So I am a mother of 5, and my husband and I both work from home, and we are entrepreneurs, and we have our own businesses, and we also homeschool. So some of the challenges that come up, I get asked a lot of questions, especially on Facebook, online in general, about how do you balance being a mother, having your own business, and homeschooling. So today I'm going to go over 5 tips that have helped me to do a better job at doing all 3 of those things. So I have some notes up here, so if you see me looking up there, that's what I'm looking at. So tip number 1, be positive. So basically, don't let stress interfere with your day-to-day duties, and whether it's concerning um, homeschooling or your business or working with your children just in general. So one example that I like to give is that, throughout the day, my children may have things that they need. So I always make sure that their needs are met, and I try not to let stress interfere with me being able to do and complete all the different tasks that I have. And so be your best. So as far as being positive, you want to be your best. You want to give your children the best that you can give to them, regardless of what's going on around you. And there's a fire truck going by. Sorry, we live on a very busy street, and there's always something going on out there. So please excuse the background sound. So being positive, you want to be your best. You want to provide your children with the best learning environment that you can possibly offer them. You also want to provide them with the healthiest living environment, and also be nurturing to them. So those are the 3 things that you want to make sure that you're able to provide them with, in terms of being positive. So the third thing that I want to mention as far as being positive is pick your battles. So something that I had to learn over the years, having 5 children, their ages are from 11 years old down to 4. My 4-year-old James, he tends to still throw tantrums and things like that. So what I like to do is I like to try my best to be gentle with him, understanding and patient, and stay positive with him. It's not always easy, but I do my best at communicating with him. So being positive, that's number 1. Number 2, be prepared. So being prepared is so important. Something that I have learned over the years, that if I'm not prepared, it's really more challenging to deal with things that come up on a day-to-day basis in terms of homeschooling, entrepreneurship, and motherhood. So sometimes things happen out of the blue. You might have, for example, you might have in terms of your business, you might have a customer who needs something to be made right away. It may be, for example, for me, I make jewelry, so I might have a customer contact me and say, I need something for my wedding coming up next week, or I need it to be overnight shipped to me. And so I have to be prepared. If I have all of their food and everything, have their food made, if I have their lessons ready for homeschooling ahead of time, then I can concentrate on filling that jewelry order for that person without feeling stressed that I'm not providing my children with what they need, the essentials that they need as far as learning and homeschooling, and as far as having their needs met. So be prepared. If their needs are met, if they have eaten, if they have been fed, that's a big one, because you can avoid tantrums if your children eat at the right time during the day. So making sure that diapers are changed, things like that, so important when you have younger children. Making sure that they don't have to wait to have the things that they need as far as being a mother, that comes first for me. Okay, so B, planning ahead, making sure that the lesson plans are done, a month in advance or 2 months in advance. I know homeschool moms that do their lesson plans a year in advance or 6 months in advance. This is a healthy habit to have, because then, when things come up, you're prepared. You have all their work done, ready for them for each day of class, and then you can concentrate on entrepreneurship a little bit more. So okay, so being organized as far as your business, having a calendar, having everything listed on your calendar that needs to be done, the days that orders need to be shipped out, having that on the calendar. That's something that I started doing, and making sure that all your supplies, if you're a jewelry designer, making sure that everything is organized, having all your supplies in a certain place so that when you need to get to them, you can. And if you need to reorder or restock, you know how to do that without having to go and look and see, do I have this? Am I able to fill this order? So some of the challenges that have come up for me is where I would not know when I needed to restock items so that I could fill orders. But I've gotten a lot better with that. And so, keeping up with your inventory, keeping up with your supplies, and then you can better provide your customers with the service that they need. Okay, so that's about being prepared. Really, really important. So number 3, participation. Okay, let the children participate. Something that I have always been really good with. Um, Even when my children were really young, I used to let them participate in baking. They're just little things you can do to allow them to be a part of whatever you're doing, so that they don't feel left out or neglected, or like they're getting lost in the shuffle and not getting the attention that they need. So yes, you have their needs met. That's not always enough. Sometimes they need more from you, more attention. Okay, and it depends on your child's personality. Some of my children, they don't need much attention from me, and I have to go look for them and make sure that everything that they need is taken care of, because they don't ask for anything. So okay, so letting them participate. An example of that is I let my children participate in deciding what we're going to study in our zoology class, what we're going to study in our science class, which part of the world they want to study in geography class. Okay, so for zoology, for example, I'll have my children talk to me and say, what animal do you all want to study this month? And they can get together and decide. They feel like they're a part of that, and it makes it easier for them to participate when it's time for class. Another part of that, as far as participation, is child accountability. Yes, we want to be there for our children, um, and make sure that they have everything that they need, and that their days are filled with joy and all of this. But it's also very important to make sure that your child is held accountable for the things that they need to do. So as far as keeping the house clean, child accountability. So making sure the children are participating in cleaning up after themselves. Making sure that they help with preparing snacks or preparing food for meals, as far as a child appropriate participation with, as far as preparing food. Um, we have our homeschool supplies in a cute little cubby that it has 4 cubbies in it, and I keep all their notebooks and all their things there. They are in charge of keeping that area clean. If it gets messy, they're the ones that have to clean it up. If they want to do a certain experiment in science class, they are in charge of cleaning up behind themselves. If they want to do something, and we've planned ahead of time, they are going to be held accountable for participating in making sure that the process goes smoothly. It's their job to meet me halfway. So that leads me to the third part of participation. The child has to meet the parent halfway. Parents who go out of their way to make sure their children are happy and well taken care of and given the attention and nurturing they need, also need to make sure their child understands, okay, I've done everything that you've needed, and also a lot of things that you've asked for, but what about me? And now I have to go and work. I have my business to take care of. I work from home. So something I would tell my child is, look, we did that experiment you all wanted to do. We also had the snacks that you all asked for, but now mommy has to get to work, and I'm going to need you to let me do that. And talking to them about it helps them to understand the importance of that. Okay, now number 4, be patient. Of course, we understand that it can become challenging with our children. They want to be able to do whatever they want a lot of times and not be held accountable and things like that. But it's important to be patient with your children in their level of development. So if my 4-year-old is having a hard time cleaning up behind themselves, be patient, because um, eventually they're going to get it. They'll understand. They'll see their older brothers and sisters doing that. They'll understand eventually. My oldest child is 11, and he takes a little bit longer to get his work done, his lessons done. I have to be patient with him and understand that he gets distracted easily, and I have to provide him with a space where he's not as distracted. So those are just 2 examples of being patient. Be patient with yourself too. Don't let everything become such a big issue that you're not able to enjoy. Okay, so being patient. That leads us to number 5, the process. It's all about the process. So, A, don't be too hard on yourself. Like I said earlier about being patient, I used to be so hard on myself and say, I'm not doing a good job as a mother. I need to do more. I have to provide them with more attention, but I'm also working, and it became stressful, and I would slack off in certain areas. Um, and so I had to understand that you cannot be too hard on yourself, because then the process is less enjoyable. If you are an entrepreneur, you're supposed to be able to enjoy your work. You're also, if you're a homeschooler, you're supposed to be able to enjoy that, because it's your choice to do that. And as a mother, motherhood is supposed to be enjoyable, okay? Okay, so B, remember to explore the teachable moment. So as far as the process is concerned, yes, maybe my day is filled because I have all these jewelry orders to get done, but I make sure that I find teachable moments throughout the day, on those very busy days, that I let my children know, yes, even though mommy is busy, I can still sit here and do these things with you. Reading a book with my children, giving them each individual attention throughout the day so that they feel like they've been acknowledged during that day. Okay, and the third part of the process, is be spontaneous. So you've got your lessons and everything prepared, you're organized, you're positive, you're allowing them to participate, you're being patient. Now, this is when you get a chance to be a little bit more spontaneous. I'm a spontaneous person by nature, so I had to learn to be more prepared, because for me to really enjoy spontaneity, I have to have everything else organized so that I can have that time to be spontaneous. Um, so those are the five tips that I have as far as making homeschooling, motherhood, and entrepreneurship more balanced. So let's just go through them really quickly. Be positive, be prepared, let them participate, be patient, and enjoy the process. So I hope that those 5 tips will help you in your motherhood, homeschooling, and entrepreneurship journey, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Peace.